Welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be discussing Vanderpump Rules. And last night's episode was a bit somewhat nostalgic to the end because we had Jax Taylor who kind of came back on scene. But I don't know, Sheena, like for some reason this season is just not for you. You're not getting a good edit. Like it just seems like every scene that you're in, it seems as if you're trying to you sound jealous, you sound crazy, the fact that you want to reconcile a friendship with this dude. And I don't know, I just don't think you're getting a good edit this episode. We saw the scene started off with we saw it started off basically where like we had Ariana and Tom, and don't worry guys, I'm just gonna be speaking on the highlights of this episode. We saw where Sandoval is keeping a pool party, and I'm not sure. That scene was very cringy with him in the pool with speaking to those girls. Like, first of all, I think the girls acted as if like they don't know who he was or what he was talking about. But I don't believe that because like everybody is talking about Scandival all through the country. So the fact that they were acting like they didn't know anything about it and they weren't aware, I don't buy that for a second. Schwartz decided to leave the party. He says that the last time he was an accomplice to the affair, so he wants no parts of being in the pool with females, especially at the house that Ariana is sharing, for it to be another situation where he is dragged into. So he decided to bow out from the event early, rightfully so. Then he then we saw a scene where we saw that Katie and Lala they met up. They apologized for their little altercation that they had the night before at the astrology party. And I'm glad that they both could own up to their own actions because most times how these scenes tend to go, it's where one person seems to be apologizing while the other party is very defensive. So I'm glad that both of them could have actually reached mutual ground and actually own up to the issue that's transpired within the confrontation that they both had, basically. So it was a good scene, and of course, Katie decides that she will work on being softer towards Lala because as much as Lala is very in your face and direct, at the end of the day, I think she's more soft. And I think once she's challenged, or especially if it's someone that she cares about and she's seen that challenging, it's like she gets very, it's hurtful for her. And of course, she said that she doesn't want it to reach a place where both of them probably say the wrong thing where they can't come back from that. So I think that's where she's coming from, where she is basically apologizing and actually, owning up to her part that she played in the conversation. The other scene, which I found very cringy and weird, was when Sandoval was coming downstairs to the kitchen to make some smoothie, and we saw where he decided to apologize to Katie, and of course mentioned the demise or the part that he had made played in their demise of her marriage towards Schwartz. And we saw the scene did not really go well. Rightfully, I knew it wouldn't go well because Katie is clearly wants no parts of Sandoval. And for Sandoval, what I realized with him is once he is apologizing and someone decides to question his apology or how sincere, how genuine his apology is, he decides to backpedal and he decides to get defensive and starts to throw the history book at you, where then that just shows to the person that you're apologizing to that you're just apologizing just to save face, basically. You don't necessarily really mean what you're saying. And Katie did say, like, if you words are just words, like she's a person who she needs actions. And I'm sure she developed that during her relationship with Schwartz, where I'm sure he apologized about a lot of stuff or said a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, the actions were not matching up with the words. So I see why she necessarily does not buy into what Sandoval is saying. And I think that's what caused that to really not go anywhere, really, because Sandoval is just on an apology tour at this point. Like he's just trying to find his way back into the group, and yeah, it's just we can see right through it. I do not buy it, but I'm assuming Sheena that buys it because she's going around basically trying to find validation in her wanting to be friends with Sandoval again. We then saw where Sheena decided to come by the house and she decided to speak with Ariana. And I guess she was just testing the air to see where Ariana's head is at because she started to bring up the fact that what if years from now, which we know it's not going to be years from now, but what if years from now, Sandoval decides to be working on himself and basically she decides to be friends with him again or whatever? How would she feel? And just rightfully so, Ariana said, "You're in danger, girl." But this is where we see where Sheena, I don't know if you are bored or because Scandival is no longer a hot topic anymore. So it's like for you to try keep yourself a bit relevant. Why it is that before you were on your podcast week by week speaking about the situation, how you are done with the friendship, you don't see where you can be friends with this person. But then a couple months from now, a camera is in your face, and now all of a sudden now you are so concerned and you care for this friendship and you want back this friendship and you can see a little soul in this person. And I'm like, where was all of this months ago or a couple weeks ago, basically, when you were literally hammering on your podcast week by week by week? And it's just like you're not making it any easier when persons saying that you're a pushover, you're a walkover, or as Katie said, a male sympathizer. Because this is the same dude that sat and looked in your face and said that he did not consider you guys friends. And this was the same dude that was backing Rachel when she filed that restraining order against you, saying that you punched her. And he was saying that, yes, he was on the phone when he heard you saying that, yes, I punched that girl. So I don't see how you forget all of this and know you want to be friends with this person. Nothing is wrong in feeling a little bit of not really jealousy, a little bit of remorse or sadness that you lost this friend. But the way how you're going about it, it just seems too quickly. It just seems too, I wouldn't want to say fake, but it just seems like I don't know where your headspace is at. I don't know what emotions you're going through, but it don't look good, girl. Like I don't know what it is, but yeah. And that was the end of that scene with Ariana, and it lets Ariana know that Sheena wants to be friends with Sandoval again. And I'm sure when she sees this season, and I'm sure at the reunion, she's going to see how Sheena has been moving throughout the entire season. We then get to where we saw that they had some group meetup at some bar somewhere, and Ariana decided to show up, which persons were surprised because I guess Ariana decides she don't want to be in any same area where Sandoval is. So it was surprising for persons to know that she actually showed up, but she said she showed up because she's not going to make Sandoval push her out of her friend group. And we could see Sandoval just staring down Ariana. And I'm sure you have seen her around the house, so I don't see why you're acting as if like you haven't seen this girl in 3 months. But he kept staring her down, and pretty much I'm sure he felt, felt a bit weird because they have been filming for a while. She wants no parts to be around him. So to see him, two of them in the same scene together, I'm sure he was a bit off guard by it. Then we get to the part where we saw Sheena then speaking to Schwartz regarding what Ariana told her about the pool party. And this is the same thing Ariana is saying why she says she doesn't want persons in her circle who is friends with him. Because here you are sitting with Schwartz saying what Ariana's feelings were towards a pool party, which we know Schwartz is going to go back and say to Sandoval. And of course, Sandoval was literally right there, eavesdropping. And she is so casually turns around and hi and pretty much engage in a conversation. At one point I was saying to myself, like, are you guys friends again or something? Like the way how you're moving and you're engaging in this conversation with him. But to you, you think that because you're telling him what he needs to apologize for, own up to, and of course you could see Sandoval's mind working like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm done with the apology. But I don't know what she's thinking. But Katie from the sidelines could see like what the hell is happening, and I'm sure it's gonna come up again or come up in a future episode about that conversation that she was having with him at the bar. But she bowed out because Sandoval wants no part of it, and then she tries to make it seem like she's helping. And why are you helping? No one sent you to reconcile anything. Persons clearly want nothing to do with him. Why are you trying to force this dude back on persons who clearly wants no parts of him? Like, let it go, move on, and make persons, if they decide on their own, if they want to be friends with this person, rightfully so, do so. But the fact that you're forcing persons and you're telling him what to say, you did the same thing at BravoCon that he was speaking too much about Ariana. You went as far into his bedroom where you are trying to tell him to stop speaking about Ariana. And I'm like, you keep putting yourself in weird situations and then sit and cry about it when persons start attacking you online. And I'm like, why are you doing stuff and then you are so shocked by the reaction that you're getting from it? It does not make sense. We then get guys' night out. Jax finally arrives. We all knew this was the episode building up to their dumb show, The Valley. Of course, they did that same transition that they did with Beverly Hills going into Vanderpump Rules, which was a smooth transition, but yeah, we have seen it already, like nothing spectacular there. Jax couldn't wait to get his little 5 minutes of fame. We saw in the episode, though, that he was saying something about him losing his job at Vanderpump, and it was a good job. But I'm sure that he was on this basically speaking that he did not get fired, made it seem like he left the show and everything. So now we got confirmation that it seemed that he was fired from Vanderpump Rules, allegedly. But yeah, so we saw where he confronted Sandoval. It's been a lead up or build up persons who have been talking about it. And he decided to confront Sandoval. One moment. Yeah, he decided to confront Sandoval, and we saw where it led to the build up of their, Jax couldn't wait for this to come out for him to pretty much go on his podcast to speak about Sandoval and why he's not friends with Sandoval and the reason why he decides not to want to have no part with Sandoval. But then it seems that they're okay now for whatever reason, and they pretty much hugged it out at the end of the night. But Sandoval, I think Jax just wanted he came in, did his job because it just seemed like a job to me. The whole walking, cinematic walking, not showing the face. We all know it's Jax because we all know it's his transition into the new show. Him sitting down, acting like he's this changed man when in future wise we know that he's been separated from his wife. And I don't know, it just to me it didn't seem sincere, it didn't seem genuine. It just seemed that, okay, guys, this is how you're going to transition the show into this show. You're going to walk in, you're going to tell Sandoval off, we're going to get you walking, getting up, leaving, and then we just rolls into the new show. And pretty much that's what they did. And it felt that way to me. But that was the scene that went down. Um, we also saw where Sandoval was telling Schwartz that he has been journaling and that's his way in connecting with Raquel. And then he began to break down in his closet. And then after a while, he was all of a sudden okay again. And yeah. But I don't know. I'm hearing Andy said that the other half of the season is really good. I'm really to see what will be the really good part of the other half. Because if it's the same thing that's going on in the first half, I don't see where the other half is going to be that spectacular. Unless something drastically happens to make it really that spectacular. And I'm hoping it's not the whole thing about Sheena made out with Schwartz back in Vegas, or the fact that Katie and Schwartz are seeing or talking to the same girl. Like, I hope that's not the good that happened in the other half of the season. Let's see. We saw where Sheena, Sandoval, Ariana, and Katie, and Schwartz and everybody met up. We saw where Ali then texted Joe. Ali says that Joe texted her saying that she wanted to do a chart reading, and Ali is just a sweetheart. She was like, she's gonna go with it. Like, she's gonna, everybody is finding Joe weird, awkward. The fact that she now all of a sudden wants to be around the group. Where before last season, she felt like she wants no parts of the show. She didn't want to be on camera or anything. Now all of a sudden, now this girl has green screen and everything. And please stop forcing Joe on us. Stop forcing Joe on us and stop forcing Billy on us. We don't care. We have no interest in these people. They seem more like camera fame whores, and we don't want them on the show. So stop forcing Joe on us. Stop forcing a scene with Schwartz and Joe. I didn't even pay attention to the scene. I didn't even know what they even spoke about because that's how zoned out I was with the scene. This girl has a green screen for what reason I don't know. I think I heard that she's at the reunion for what reason I don't know. But stop forcing this girl on us because clearly she doesn't connect with me personally. She may connect with other persons, but for me personally, I have no connection with her. Stop forcing her on us. And I'm glad that you stopped working for Sandoval because the fact this dude has you cleaning this house and he's saying that a part of her assistant job is housekeeping. I would never sign up for a job like that. If I sign up to be an assistant, I'm going to be an assistant. I will assist you getting someone to clean the house. I am not going to be anyone who's going to be actually cleaning the house as well for you while you are upstairs working out doing shit. No, it's not going to work. And I'm happy that she no longer works for him, but yeah. And I really apologize or sympathize with you. That was the episode for me. The Valley, I did not really watch it. I watched a couple clips because it was playing in the background on my TV, but I didn't really watch the episode. Let's see what the ratings look like. The ratings may be good because they did this transition from Vanderpump to the Valley, so it may be good for the first episode, but let's see how the rest of the season does. But that was the end of Vanderpump Rules. Let's see what next week brings, and let me know in the comment section below, guys, what your thoughts were on this episode.